I just have some announcements to make. Next weekend, next Sunday, there won't be a meditation class on Zoom. I have a retreat to do next weekend, so I'll be busy with that, and there'll be actually no time to do this. But there will be a class the following Tuesday, and there'll be a class this Thursday. The second announcement is, I was announcing that there's spaces open for my birthday retreat. Well, it's all been filled up. If you're still interested in coming, there will be a waiting list, and generally one or two people drop out. So there's always that possibility that the space will open up. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask? I spoke the other day about spiritual warriors and how important it is, to connect with that quality inside one, that part of one that, refuses to give up. No matter how difficult things get and what unfolds and what comes in their karma, they're willing to go deeper inside themselves, and tap that resource of energy that can enable them to transform whatever the situation is into something that helps them to grow spiritually. It's a very important aspect, and not only what I teach and what Rudy taught, but an important aspect in just basically living, because you never know, literally from day to day, what situations are going to take place, and some of them are very difficult, and many of them are completely out of our control. And we need to have that quality in us, that thing that says, I won't give up. I won't allow whatever's taking place, to depress me, to make me unhappy. I'm not a victim of life. I can truly use and learn how to get stronger, to transform whatever it is into that which helps me get closer to a spiritual life. And somebody asked me in the other class, well, is there any other way but the sword of slaying the dragon? And I said, well, the sword is just a metaphor for love. In Tibetan Buddhism, there's a bodhisattva called Manjushri, and he always has a sword. See him sitting with a sword over his head. It's a sword of wisdom. There's no wisdom without love. There's no wisdom without an open heart. There's no wisdom, period, if one can't find in themselves the ability to forgive and to just have compassion and kindness to other people. That is the sword of wisdom, love. It creates the sword of wisdom. And if a human being builds a chakra system that enables their heart to stay open, they're slaying the dragon. It's only a metaphor for us using the tools we're born with to open and develop a system that's strong enough to keep the heart open. Does anyone have a question? I think this is a very good thing to let absorb inside you, because it's too easy to get angry at the kind of world we live in and to get depressed by it, to be a victim to it, And it's just too easy. It's too easy to allow those kinds of thoughts and feelings and energies to run rampant inside us and take over and take control. But a little gratitude opens the heart. The heart gives us the power to slay the dragon. Love. God is love. Learn that, and you've learned everything you have to learn living on this planet. I mean, it's really enlightenment just to be able to live that way.
Stuart, I was reading from your book yesterday, and you said something really simple that stuck with me. It said the fastest path to spiritual enlightenment is the slow development of a chakra system. And it's just so very simple, and yeah, it's just
Well, it's a lifetime of working on yourself. And there's nothing wrong with everyone. A lifetime of working. I mean, I can't get away from. It's nonsense. What do we do? It's a lifetime of not working on us. And it doesn't take away from anything. I mean, look, it doesn't take away from any other avenue of life that one needs to experience in order to work out karma. If you need to get married, you need to have children, you need to have money, you have all these things are part of it. They're all part of the learning process. But what makes it possible to learn from them is the development of an inner life that's strong enough to be able to transform all these experiences into love, into chi, into a quiet mind. And as the chakra system gets stronger, so the whole world begins to change. The world around us begins to change. And it's not other people that are going to change because that is we change. We see them differently. I've said this a million times, we begin to see the world around us differently. We've changed inside. And that's the slow development of a child. It's that wonderful Japanese Zen saying, I love it. Climb Mount Fuji, oh snail. But slowly, slowly, do it a step at a time. So much wisdom in that writing, because everybody wants to get there yesterday. And we don't get there yesterday. We get there today, and today becomes tomorrow. Does anyone else is that clear, Holly? I hope so. Yeah. Does anyone else have a question? So remember, we're a bunch of snails trying to climb Mount Fuji, and there's no sense rushing to the top. It's going to take time. We're trying to rush to the top. Does anyone else have a question you'd like to ask? Once you get patience with yourself, you'll have patience with other people. You realize nobody's perfect. We're all fumbling around the earth trying to make sense of all this stuff. And the worst part is we're trying to make sense of something that's never going to make sense. So we need to learn to just truly get open and let it be. Let it just be. It's God's world. And once it becomes that, it becomes an extraordinary place to live. Everything gets to be sacred. Does anyone else have a question?
And once we do reach the state of enlightenment, or when Kundalini reaches the crown, is that a permanent enlightenment or is that a partial enlightenment?
You
What
start
happens?
working on yourself. Kundalini will no longer reach the crown.
Can you repeat that?
If you stop working on yourself and stop continuing to develop, no matter what, as long as you're living here, no matter what you attain, it has to be surrendered. Even enlightenment, it's got to be surrendered. You have to let go of it. Otherwise, the whole process stops. And enlightenment, heaven turns into hell. It really does. Unless we keep surrendering and going deeper and opening and tapping deeper creativity. What we are opening to is what's infinite in the universe. Anything else has its limitation, including Kundalini reaching the crown. And that to me is extraordinary because it means that every day of one's life is going to be a creative day, instigating change and new experiences and new pieces of karma to work out. Every day becomes something extraordinary. We haven't arrived yet. Rose, my daughter, I used to go take her into the city when we were living in Woodstock. She was like 4 years old or something, 5 years. Daddy, when are we going to be there? When are we going to be there? I'll never forget that. And I looked at her once after the 15th time. I said, Ania, we'll be there when we get there. Oh. She stopped asking me that question. And it's the same thing in this. We'll be there when we get there. Everybody's in such a rush. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the wonderment of one's life. And keep building an inner life. And you'll be there when you get there. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be meditation on Thursday. Thank you. God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Extraordinary at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to do this. It's like a miracle, Think how incredible this is. How many people in the world at 1 o'clock in the afternoon do anything like this? Not too many people. Nothing but gratitude to be given the opportunity. Well, my time, it's 1 o'clock. In Israel, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. But how many people are doing anything like this? It's a miracle. Thank you all. God bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Thursday.
Thank you, Stuart.
Stuart.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Stuart.
Stuart.